I would like to take the moment to pay respects to those who lost their lives due to police brutality. We want the system to change, and consistency is the only way to bring that change. None of us has the perfect solution, but we can all use our various paths and methods to hopefully one day make a breakthrough in this system. Whether you bring awareness through posts, protests, donations, or petitions, stay consistent. Use your voice. Don't give up until the system gives in. Copy.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Ray from Raespodcast here again with my peoples again. You know, we got Face, top left for me. You got Brandon at the bottom with me. You got Sherm on the under face, and then you got a newcomer, my man James. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Okay, so obviously there's a lot going on in the world right now. Trying to stay sane at least a little bit, but we know that it's a hard time right now. But we're gonna come and give y'all that good talk from Ray's podcast. So what it is and what it ain't. If you don't like what I gotta say, join the debate. Now, first thing I want to talk to you guys, and anybody can share whoever they want to go first. If there aren't any fans at the games, well, the season's supposed to return July 31st. It just came out today saying that today. So July 31st is when the season's going to come back and it's going to be in Orlando. If there aren't any fans at the games, would that affect players' ability to perform?
All right. I feel it's gonna affect a lot of players. Some positively, some negatively. They're gonna have some players who thrive on the fans, who needs the sound, who needs the energy in order for them to go. It's gonna be some players who are gonna feel more comfortable because not a lot of pressure, not a lot of people screaming at them. They're gonna be able to hit open shots. It's gonna be give and take for both sides.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an adjustment, but I think more so the basketball part might be a little tough to watch just off of pure just rush. Having this time off, not really playing competitive. But I mean, man, I think eventually it's just gonna come down to everybody started somewhere playing pickup ball. And I mean, I know it's a lot. It's gonna be missing those fans, but at the same time, it's gonna be you and your teammates against the opponent. And so you just really got to lock in, and there won't be no home court advantage. So, as far as pressure, I think it'll be less pressure and more about actually hooping.
I agree. It depends on the player and the individual. Like I agree with everybody. It depends on the individual. So like my man said at first, some people thrive off of the crowd. Some people they shrink under that pressure. So we might see a lot of guys stepping up and doing things without that pressure that we ain't never seen before. But personally, I just think the fans, I think is needed, but it's just not gonna happen because of the safety reasons. It's just not gonna happen. Like, I don't think watching the games will be the same. To me, as a fan, watching the games, it's not gonna be the same. It's just gonna be. I don't like to sit on the side and watch a scrimmage.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
That's what it's going to be like.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting because at that high of a level, those dudes should be able to perform no matter who's in the gym. That's just my personal opinion. I think you're right. Someone I think that comes to mind immediately is somebody like Russell Westbrook, who is he doesn't necessarily feed off the crowd, but he feeds off of energy. And I think he gets majority of his energy from that crowd. And he's self-motivated, obviously. But I think somebody like that, I don't think he's going to struggle, but I think it might be harder for him to get that extra push. What I'm really interested to see is how the games are officiated, because let's keep it high. We all hoop, all this. You say a lot in a game. Like, a lot of stuff gets said that I'm sure gets tossed under the rug
They're
or
going to turn the mics off.
Yeah, because it's going to be a lot of,
They're going to turn the mics off.
Yeah, you can't guard me. But see, that's the thing. You can't turn the mics off because if you want fans to watch, I got to be able to hear something. I got to know
it's the delay time. It's the delay. They're going to let it run, but they're going to make sure that certain
they might pre-record it. They might pre-record it and let it
out. I don't think it will affect players' ability to perform. To me, it would be like an intense pickup game. I feel like it's like, if you go to any type of open gym and it's a packed gym and you lose, if you lose, your best bet is either to wait 5 or 6 games or to go home. Or to go home. So, and being that they're professionals, I feel like they're going to know what's at stake. But of course, the fans, like you just said, Face, the fans pump you up. All of you guys played before, whether it was outside or college, high school, it doesn't even matter. Once you hit a couple of shots and you hear a couple oohs and ahs, that gets you going. So, I do think that will affect some players as well. But, everybody, the mentality is to be locked in as a goal. And if you're a professional and you want to win a championship, right now, this is the best bet. And everybody's going to be on the 50-50 level because, everybody been sitting down. It doesn't matter who was first place before the quarantine happened. Everybody's at the same level. No matter your chemistry, you got to come right back. Yeah, your chemistry, you got to come right back.
Too, man. They all been working out too.
Yeah, they've been working out. Yeah, I know that for sure.
They probably got a mass email that was like, if y'all work out, don't you dare post it. Like, don't you dare post it.
Don't say nothing.
Don't you dare post nothing. So
now, what I meant by as far as it's going to be some people that we going to see step up. Because again, everybody 12 or 14, 15 in the NBA, the last guy on the bench was a star in their state or a star in their city. But the reason why they're not at that elite level, one or two things, it may be the politics. It may also be they're not consistent.
That's
but
what I was about.
when they get to that level, they can't take that pressure. And we may see some guys that step up. So this is what's going to make it interesting. We're going to see some guys that step up who we don't normally see step up without that. That's what I mean. The stars going to be stars.
Yeah.
Be who they are. Proud or not.
Well, Sherman, that's what I think pressure is being able to perform consistently. Like, I've never been on a team where I've been the dude that's averaged 20 points a game or anything like that. But I've watched it, been a teammate, been against the dude that we played against a couple of times at it. That is hard to do. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, 22, 23, 25, especially you got dudes out here averaging 30. Like, that is hard to do. Like, that is
at any level.
At any level.
Yes, at any level. I think a lot of people don't realize that. They try to discredit what type of level you play on. You average 20 points a game. You getting buckets.
No. If you average 20, you are a bucket getter. Like, there's no way around that. Like, you get buckets. So that's going to be interesting to see. But I think I agree with everyone. Like, I don't see it being too effective to where it's the point where the rust is going to look bad. Like, that's going to look bad for a little while. But I think, like you said, Sherm, it's going to be some people step up. And I also think a few people might be affected. Like, you're not going to be able to – it's not going to happen now because the crowd oohed and awed on the first time, somebody went to the hole and got hacked. Now it's going to be like, nah, bro, ain't nobody in here. Like, I didn't call foul before. I'm not going to call it again. Like, that's
the refs going to be the refs going to be comfortable too.
Yeah. The refs are probably going to be really good.
They don't have to hit an extra. So they can call a call, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Hit a booze or they ain't going to hit the eyes, even though they got to hold themselves to a standard higher than anybody else on the court when it comes to all the chatter. But they're going to be able to do what they do.
No, for sure.
I think we all can agree on that it wouldn't affect the players, or will it affect? Who disagrees?
I think it will also affect certain type of players. For example, let's say Ben Simmons, right? Everybody knows he's not the greatest shooter. Now, us as watchers, we can all hear everything that's said on the court. Imagine Ben Simmons wide open for the three-pointer, and the person that's guarding him is like, yo, you ain't gonna hit this. I'm leaving you open, walking away. We're hearing the trash talking now as fans, families. After the game is over, people gonna be hitting him like, you gonna let him talk to you like that? Like, it's a different type of pressure now. Because now after hearing everything that's being said back and forth, and now we relaying what we hearing to them. And they got to answer to their friends and family that come back the next game and perform. That's
the part I'm looking the most forward to. I'm trying to hear that trash talk say, Ben Simmons out there gonna be like, yeah, I'm good. We'll live. Like,
imagine
we'll live. Let him, or he with us. He with us.
Yeah, he's with us. Like, that's fine. I'll live.
I need a mic. I need a mic on Pat Bell the whole time. Every game, I need a mic on Pat Bell.
Yes, sir.
They ain't gonna let it happen.
I know.
Or they'll tell them ahead of time, tone it down. So when that's you can't tone it. When you competing, you can't tone it down because that's what drives you as a player.
Yep, for sure.
So it drives you as a player. So he ain't gonna be able to turn it down.
I think the dog's gonna be all right though. I think the guys that love the game and we all know they all in the gym, but them guys who stay consistent throughout this whole core team the past 2 or 3 months, I think they're gonna be all right, man. Truthfully, like I don't see LeBron shrinking for that moment. I don't see a guy like Kawhi or all the top guys. Giannis is probably gonna be dunking on people still, like right, getting the bench right, all that kind of stuff. I think the dogs is gonna be ready.
I think dudes like Giannis is really gonna thrive from this. Cause he just gonna be out there trying to get downhill and dunk that ball every single time he touches that ball. Oh, that's good though.
What's good, everybody? You liking the video so far? Make sure you go on YouTube right now and type in Raespodcast to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. And by the way, since you're watching it, stop, slow down, and tag a friend. Share right now on all platforms for me. Thank you. Copy.
So even though there's no crowd there, do you feel like it will put any pressure? I know we said that earlier. Would that put any pressure on anybody for, like, say if it comes down for the game-winning shot or anything like that? Because, that also plays a part too, knowing that if you're away, the crowd can play a part.
Yeah.
That moment. Some people are not built for that moment.
Nah, the Stars going to get the ball regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They going to step up regardless. Ray, how many times in the gym, I'll come up in the gym, y'all shooting half-court shots, 5, 4, 3. This is stuff that we all practice as ball players all our life. So if it's in you, it's in you. If it ain't, but we all practice that as kids, man. So I don't think when it comes down to the clutch, you either got it or you don't. That's just how.
I think one thing that's gonna suck though is that whoever wins, doesn't matter who wins this championship, it's gonna be a huge asterisk next to it. So this isn't gonna do anything for anybody's legacy, unfortunately. Like, I don't care who it is, doesn't matter who player is, or that team. It's gonna be a huge asterisk next to it. I don't even think because of the shortened schedule, but I think that's going to be part of it, is the dynamic of, they didn't have to travel on the road and do a back-to-back. They didn't have to turn around and fly across the country to go from New York to California. Like, they didn't have to do that. So people are going to be like, oh, well, you should be rested. Y'all should be good. There should be no problem. Everybody should be healthy because you've had 2 months off. Like, you should be. So you didn't have the normal regular season grind where you played 82 games and then had to turn around and play and find a way to win 16 games within that stretch. So I think that's going to be a little bit of a dynamic that's going to be used, which I think is unfortunate, but that I also agree with. That, I'm not going to say it's tainted, but it's not as valuable, obviously, if the season was going along as normal.
So with you saying that, and the last time we had the podcast and we talked, you threw Tim Duncan in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
You felt
99.
like Tim Duncan. Yeah, so
99.
how do you feel about that? Even though this is something different, it's not the coronavirus, but you understand that season for his first championship, and he was a rookie. But I'm just saying, like, is that the same thing? Can somebody say the same thing towards that? I'm just
sure.
trying to answer.
It wasn't a break in between. This is a whole different scenario that we never experienced.
For sure.
Yeah, this is just
it just started the season late.
Yeah.
And cut it to 50 games.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they was playing, they cut it short.
Yeah.
Now going back to that. And this is the question that I know none of us can answer, but what if we get into the playoffs no matter how the format is, and let's say Kawhi tests positive for the corona, Paul George tests positive. What you gonna do with that team? That's the only, like, that's the question that nobody's asking. That's coming up. Like, how they gonna handle that?
Larry Nance, he actually did ask that question because he didn't want the season to start because he has a condition. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what the condition is, but he didn't want to start because for that exact reason that you said. What they're gonna have to do is just shut the whole NBA down. You can't take that chance.
Yeah, you have to.
But
unfortunately,
they're not going to do it because of the money. They not.
They need that money.
But they're all in the same. So they're all in the same spot. So if somebody that close and contained has it, and I'm sure they're gonna after every game have probably a 2-hour break to sanitize and let whatever germs and sweat whatever die down and all that stuff. But I think that if a player did get contaminated in the middle of the playoffs, let's say it's a playoff, I think either two things: either they'll cover it up, and my man is gonna have flu-like symptoms.
Yeah,
and he's just gonna have to chill.
Indeed.
Yeah, he's gonna have to chill on the sideline with flu-like. Oh no, he probably ain't gonna be allowed in the building. But flu-like symptoms, or they shut it down. But I don't see a scenario where they shut it down because, like you said, the money is such a big thing. I've been telling my wife this all the time because she works at UNCW, and I'm like, look, at the end of the day, they not missing out on college football. I don't care what nobody says. They will not miss out on college football. That is
too much funding for the schools.
It's $1 billion
other
industry.
Programs.
Yeah, it's $1 billion industry, literally. Like, it is $1 billion industry. They're not missing out on that. That's not happening. Like, they're gonna find a way. I don't know if the vaccine will just pop up in August, where we got the vaccine and it's 100% and it works and blah blah blah. So, I just know that they're not going to go without sports because essentially, like you just said, sports run the school, especially with funding. Like if I am at, I'm trying to think of a really, if I'm at Coastal Carolina, right, and our football team always goes to the FCS championship and all the time, and we're getting all this money, that's helping me fund another sport. So we're not about to lose that money. We're not about to lose
whether it's tennis, swimming, those sports that not bringing in that money, it funds those other programs. And that goes not only for the school but it goes for those big schools too, like Alabama.
Yeah,
sure.
A lot of those other programs.
I saw ECU started.
Shut it down.
I saw ECU started kicking a few sports. I think in like the springtime.
Well, ECU and Cincinnati and Furman, a lot of these schools are kicking sports that are, if you notice, with the exception of probably soccer, and soccer, I'll explain the dynamic of soccer, it's high equipment sports. So baseball is high equipment. It's very high equipment.
Baseball,
like the bats and all that, and then you travel typically anywhere from 25 to 30 dudes. I travel 7 pitchers and only 2 might pitch that weekend. So I got to feed all these kids. You got to do all this and that dynamic. And it's the same thing with soccer. You typically only play 11, maybe 14 guys in a game, but I'm traveling 30. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather take that cut with them instead of having to cut somebody on my football team to cut my football numbers down.
Right.
Because football can bring in that bread. I also think it was just an excuse for some of these programs to get rid of their programs that weren't doing anything. Like if men's soccer has put me in the hole every year, then they're out. I'm taking them. This is my perfect excuse to get them out. This is the perfect excuse.
But we
to
can't
be like,
say that. We can't say that though. They're giving some of these players their year back. So even though they are kicking, so that's the bright side of it all. Like for their year of playing, sports, that they at least, they if there was a freshman, they can still do their freshman year over or redshirt freshman.
Yeah, you get your eligibility back,
which is pretty good in that aspect. But for college football, that was a good assumption right there, Sherm. I didn't even think nothing about that. Going back to what you said before, like to kick this whole thing up, like what if one of the players get it in the playoffs? Like I had no clue. I was not thinking of anything like that at all. But
yeah, that's a great point.
Going from there, if one of the, Damian Lillard came out and said he's not going to return, for if the games don't mean anything, basically. Now,
well, that's because they're in 10th place.
Yeah, they're in 10th. All right, okay. No, but hold on, though. Being that they're in 10th place, Marc Cuban came up with this new proposal to switch up the format to have, instead of it being the 8 seeds, it'd be 10 seeds. And then they'll
and a playing game.
We'll have a playing game, but before that, before playing in the playoffs, we'll play 5 games that give every team from both sides a chance to have a chance to get in the playoffs, except for the Warriors and the Timberwolves. But everybody else, including the Cleveland Cavaliers, who's the worst team in the East, all have a chance to get in the playoffs with those 5 games. So, being that if Mark Cuban proposal does happen, does Damian Lillard, what he said about 10th place, do you think he'll actually take it serious now that he'll have a chance?
It's a reason.
He will.
Yeah, it's a reason why he put it out there. He put it out there. There's no way he's gonna. When the season starts again, he's not gonna sit down. There's no way because
He can't.
Bad for his name. It's a bad rep. Yeah.
He put it out. He put it out there to give them something to think about. Think about, because let's be real. If they played 70 games, which all the teams needed to play to get their local TV money or whatever, they wouldn't be having this discussion right now.
Mm-hmm.
The season will be done.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody got their money, it'll be done because the players are already paid. That's
not a team.
They got paid, but they all didn't get what their contract was worth because there's only a selected few players that actually got all their money this year.
I know it was. What was it, LeBron? And
I'm sure Steph did.
It was like 4 or 5, but they still got a majority. Most of the players still got a majority of their money.
Yeah. Okay.
They ain't taking the losses. The owners are taking the losses right now.
Yeah, I'm about to say the teams are the ones losing out on the money.
Yeah.
My thing is for Dame. I just think, and this is just completely my opinion, I think he know they weren't gonna make playoffs. He knows they were struggling. I think there was a little bit of a push more for New Orleans to make the playoffs, so everybody could see Zion because Zion is generating a ton of money. Not saying that you can rig it, but I think it was going to be a push for Zion or Ja Morant to be in because those two are the ones that are bringing the most attention to the league. Yeah, the future. Yeah. And they're going to play against the Lakers in the first round if the format held up to normal. They would have played the Lakers in the first round, so everybody wants to see LeBron and Anthony Davis and all that, obviously. So I think Dame on the back end, deep in his mind, is like, why would I come out and play, let's say 25 or 20 games before the playoffs or 15 where I can get hurt and we're in 10th place and we're probably not going to come out on the top end of anything anyway. Why would I do that? But like you said, Sherman, that's really bad for his rep. Like, if I'm Damian Lillard and I'm a brand and I'm his manager or his agent, I'm like, bro, you better get your behind out there. You better get out there and play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want, and I don't know, I'm telling you what to do. I'm just advising you, if you want your legacy to continue, you better get out there and play.
Because every time they play, the camera going to be in street clothes, and he's story.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad for him. And watching him, that's gonna get on him a lot. Like, especially right now where there's nothing to.
Is it really bad? Because the way the society is, it's bad for right now. But when the next season starts and he starts dropping the same numbers, we just forget all about it. Like, it's bad right now, a bad look for right now. But it's not gonna be the end of him. Like, as long as he continues doing what he's doing.
No, nobody's saying it's going to be the end of him.
Yeah, it won't be the end.
It's going to be a cycle until he start dropping them numbers again. Where he the example. They're already doing it in baseball. And the difference between baseball and basketball, because baseball is starting up again.
Mm-hmm.
No money was paid out and no money was made. So that's why they're fighting. But with Dame, he got his money.
He got his money, but I think it also, James, you said like, will it? Because obviously he can, go back to getting his numbers and everybody can forget. But how would your teammates feel on you, knowing that?
That's
how would your teammates feel about you? And if they do return back, I would expect them to play a couple of games, and they're not that far out. They're not that far out. You don't want to quit on your team.
They don't like 3 or 4 days.
I don't even think his teammates would care. I think who would care the most is his manager and the owners. They're taking the money.
Not so much. No, not even that. Because we understand.
Yeah,
I get it.
We get it and understand. But it's those cats that's out in the talk radio who don't understand.
They're gonna ride him.
As in the media who don't understand, they're gonna run that story over and over. He's gonna be the talk. He's gonna be.
And if he never wins again, if he never wins again, if he don't win something, it's gonna trickle down to that. But I agree with Sherman. I think it was a chess move to anything, and I know Dame is probably one of like the better leaders in the NBA.
Of course.
And
he gave me something to think about.
Yeah, I don't think he quit on his team like that, but definitely playing chess, not checkers.
Well, I'll tell you who else will care. As Adidas. He play around if he wants. He act like that if he won't. They're gonna say, "Hey, brother, how about that? How about that? That Dame 7 has been canceled, my friend."
Yo.
So
And that's the game changer. That's the difference between this generation and when back in the 90s and the 80s, because Cats wasn't really making no money, but the sneaker money wasn't really like that. Jordan was making that sneaker money, but
he was the only one. Yeah,
he was the only one.
Like
but now they sneaker money is bigger than they NBA contracts.
NBA contracts. Yep.
So honestly, Nike is running the NBA right now.
Correct.
They're running the NBA. Because the money
they got all the mega stars. They got Ron, they got Giannis, they got Kyrie, they got all the mega stars.
The money they're giving them, these kids, before they even sign an NBA contract that don't even match what they giving them, is a game changer, man. It's a game changer.
And just imagine they're supposed to have Steph too. Somebody couldn't get a PowerPoint right. Somebody spelled his name wrong on the PowerPoint.
Which is terrible.
Look what he got from Under Armour.
You had one job. You had one job. One job to get his name right.
Spell the kid's name right.
Yeah, he ain't working in no more.
Every day. I would talk to him every day and send him an email, be like, "Look what you did." Like, just look at him. Like, look at him. So.
But see, the thing is with that is, I don't understand how you got his name wrong when we all know Stephen Curry and Davidson was on ESPN every other day. So it's not like if he's like a come-up kid or anything like that. He's on the media every single day. You had one job.
Yeah, most of the people don't even watch basketball.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, yeah, some light-skinned dude's supposed to be here today. Apparently, he can shoot, so we need to get his PowerPoint.
Let's just use the one that we used with the last client.
Yeah. Push the names around a little bit.
So this Marc Cuban proposal, how do y'all feel about it? Being that James is your first time being on the podcast, how do you feel about that?
I'd rather the traditional way. Like, it's not the other team's fault that they worked hard during the season to make their seed. It's not their fault at all, and they should keep it the way it is. There's no reason to change it. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, I agree.
So being at that, do you think they should play 5 or 7 games or 10 games, or should we just go straight into the playoffs?
I'll say finish it out because there are some teams that are close to making it, so they should finish it out. Max it out as much as you can. If you can't get to 15, do 10, and see who makes it.
Okay, Brandon, how you feel about that? The Marc Cuban proposal.
I just say keep it at like the 14, and honestly, I say just scrape the whole conference thing. I've always kind of been wary about that. So I think the next 4 records are like from the 9 through 12 in the West be anything that the East got after like the 8th seed. So I would say bring the 4 teams from the West, have them, get them some games, have the play-in games, because like the Blazers are 9th in the West, but a lot of people don't realize they don't got the big boy in the paint jokers who probably makes a difference for them throughout the whole season.
He'll be healthy now.
Absolutely.
He'll be healthy now.
That's Dame's point. Dame's point is we coming back full strength.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See where we at with this. Like,
absolutely. And then just play. And I love the 16 seed thing. I've been saying
I love that.
Me personally, I've been vouching for that. Like, get the top 16 seeds, rank them, forget conference, and by like that second, third round, we're gonna have some pretty tough matchups.
I don't even think you got to worry about ranking them. I think they are ranked. Like, you go off your record, and it is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It is what it is. You. Everybody's had a head-to-head. Everybody's had enough to split, and then it's just like I don't quite understand how they don't already do that as it is. Like, you take the 16 best teams and you put them out there. I'm not trying to watch a team that only won 35 games being in the playoffs, but I don't give a damn about that.
Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I want to see some winners. I want to see competitors, and I don't care if Utah's got to play Orlando in the first round. It is what it is. Y'all are flying very comfortably. Y'all are okay. Like, you're good. You can make that flight. You'll be all right. So Because they said that's part of the knock is the travel.
Yeah, but now they all be in Orlando now.
Exactly.
If I'm looking at it for an entertainment aspect wise, the 10 teams, I want it the traditional way. That's because that's just how I always been watching. But if I'm looking at it for, because these people need to make their money. The TV companies need to make their money. Some people would like to see a lot more things on TV because, the Jordan documentary was something that gave everybody to watch every Sunday. So if the 10-team thing with Marc Cuban was to happen, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, just because of what we're going through right now, I'll say do it right now. More basketball, something more excitement, a playing game. You got more teams to get in. Obviously, Zion and them will be in. Dame will be happy unless they just mess around and lose 4 out of the 5 or something like that. Face the Hornets will be in there because they're 10th right now. It'll be the Wizards. The Wizards will be in there. Even though the Wizards was going through a lot, John Wall and Bradley Beal not being an all-star, but they are 9th. And the way that the season Bradley Beal is playing, it'll be nice to see Bradley Beal to be in there to compete.
Hey, but correct me if I'm wrong, but would they take, I think he was saying that they would just take the 4 next team best off record and just scratch the conference.
No.
So what do you,
okay, so this is the proposal. I got it written down too. I had to make it now. So there was extended to 10 teams. At least 5 games for every team will be reseeded. 17 will play 20, and 18 will play 19 for a playing game. The winner will play the eighth seed. The 2 number 1 seeds will have a bye, and then after that, we go right back to the natural bracket, like how it is, right after that. But it gives everybody to play 5 games. Only 2 teams cannot qualify, which is the Timberwolves and the Warriors. But everybody else, to the Hawks, to the Cavs, they all have a chance to get in there with these 5 games, including the Pelicans. And then, I mean, it'd be like kind of like a small NCAA thing because, the top number 1 seed will have a bye.
That's what I was going to go to.
It will have a bye, and then we'll just get the ball rolling there. It'll benefit everybody, more basketball, more for the TV companies to have. And then right now, we don't know what's going on, in the world. It'll just give everybody something to watch.
But I heard the real reason that Marc Cuban was pushing this, because right now, Mavs is the 7th seed. They're matched up against the Clippers in the playoffs. I heard that he's trying to finagle it. He doesn't have to see the Clippers in the first round and work his way to see a different team, which is why he was really pushing it.
Chestnut checkers. I ain't mad at that.
There we go.
Me personally, I just want to see. I don't even care about the conferences. I want to see 1 through 16 because I want to see
I want.
play in the finals. We have been watching garbage finals, whether you was a fan of the player or a team or not, for the last I don't know how many years. We have not been getting top 2 teams playing in the finals.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
true. I can agree
for
with
the
that.
For the longest, we all
Western Conference Finals last year.
Huh?
Yeah.
I said the Western Conference Final last year was the finals.
Yeah, and that's been going on for the longest. For the longest.
I agree.
So I'd rather see 1 through 16. We're gonna do the play-ins. I'd rather see 1 through 16, 1 play 16. Because what's the biggest tournament in basketball that we know of?
Yeah,
March Madness, baby.
March Madness.
And anything can happen.
That's what I like. That's what I like too. Like I want to see the Rockets, who might be like a 9 seed or whatever they are, storm all the way through it, and you like, oh, because if the right team gets, and if the right team gets hot with the right matchup, it's a wrap. Yeah, that's what I want to see. You got to match up. So I like it.
Happen, though. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that's what I want to see.
I don't know.
That's what I want to see.
I think the 1 through 16 is very possible. I think that's very possible because if you want to pique everybody's interest, and again, the biggest debate, or not the biggest debate, the biggest inconvenience is always travel. There's no more traveling. Like you don't travel. You literally walk down the street like everybody else. So let's see what happens if we do just happen to realign everything and you don't have to travel. Like, again, there's no Utah going to Orlando. That's not happening. Everybody's in Orlando. Everybody's getting a certain hotel or where they're at. I'm sure each team is going to be placed in their own certain kind of hotel for spaced out reasons and stuff like that. And then you kind of find out what's going on. And then honestly, this kind of brings you back to the first part that I wish I would have mentioned. But now you about to see, I think Brandon mentioned it, or somebody mentioned it, who loves the game. Like, you got to find out who really hoops. Like, you got to find out who's a hooper. Like I get up and I live for this, so I'm gonna see. I don't need a crowd. I don't need this. I don't like. You got to find out who's going to work that contract.
It's gonna be some millionaires. I'm talking about guys get paid million that didn't do nothing over the past 2.5 months. That's so crazy. And we're gonna tell.
Yeah, and somebody gonna lose money out there too now. Somebody gonna go out there and lose some money too.
Mm-hmm.
But here's another.
But it's your money to lose though.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
What you were saying, James?
I was saying, here's another way of thinking about it though. With the 1 through 16, I'm assuming for the next couple of years, if they switched it to that format, it's gonna be full of Western teams. Like, none of the Eastern Conference teams are gonna be in it. So imagine that if you're one of those owners, like, I can't see them agreeing to this because they know that their team are not making the playoffs, so they even have a chance to sniff in the playoffs, which means less money, less TV time.
I get that. But I think the push from the other owners is gonna be like, look, we got better, so you got to get better. That's just what it is.
You got
that,
the right GM.
When I say that, I'm saying it from a fan watching a person that love the game and want to see like I said, the top 2 teams in the finals. Who do we all want to see? Clippers and Lakers.
Yep,
and if they beat
that's all we want to
that's
see.
cool with me.
That's
cool
all
with me.
we want to see. that's
I
all
mean,
we want.
that's big. Yeah, that's honest.
That's all we want to see.
Yeah. Sprinkle in the Bucks if you can. I like to see if
you can, but you don't see him and his role players beating Steve and LeBron. You don't see beating Kawhi and Paul George and that deep team. You don't see it happen. He's gonna do it.
But look, don't see it happen. But what if it does happen? Now where he falls in history. What if he does overcome LeBron or does overcome the Clippers by himself with a bunch of role players?
He's gonna be great regardless. He's gonna be great regardless.
That's a different conversation.
He's still young.
Giannis ain't number like 23, 24.
Yeah, he's gonna be great regardless. His time gonna come. His time gonna come. It's just not right now.
I think, it's like when everybody was saying, I know I was saying this, the Western Conference Finals is going to be our NBA Finals. I was saying that the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, that's all we was thinking about. The only thing I was just saying, please just the Clippers don't slip up or Lakers don't slip up in the second round because, I mean, it's like, I'm going off of this right now, but it's like going back to, Sherm, back when I was young in the gym, we all wanted to see the Cavaliers versus the Lakers. We did not want to see the Lakers and the Magic.
You brought it up. Somebody didn't show up.
Yeah, no, you're right though. You're right though.
It's funny because I used to always because remember they had the commercials building the
puppets. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The puppets.
They used to always mess with you. Your guy ain't show up, right? Like, they did all that promotion, right? But your guy ain't show up. So what he do? He went to Miami.
But that's right though. Like I was just thinking about that the whole year. I'm like, well, please don't let the Clippers lose to the Rockets, or don't let the Lakers lose to the Nuggets or the Rockets or something like that, because we all want to see the Clippers and the Lakers. But hopefully this format could possibly change it up. Honestly, if it can change it up for that way, I mean, I don't think nobody here would be mad with that. If we can see the reseed and see the Clippers and the Lakers in the NBA Finals in Orlando, it's fine with me. That's fine with me.
The Nuggets. I can't. The Nuggets.
What's up with the Nuggets? Well, how you feel about the Nuggets?
Man, so Brandon already laughing because I get it this all the time. So I'm very high on skill, right? Like I love Jokic. I think he's good, blah, blah, blah. But I think he gets a little too much praise. Like I think he gets a little too much. And the one dude I always bring up to compare him with is Karl Anthony Towns. Like I'm like, yo, have y'all watched Karl Anthony Towns? Like, have y'all watched him play? Like, he's on a bad team, and he is, like, getting it done. Like, he is the only dude in the past, like, 4 or 5 years, with the exception of DeMarcus Cousins until he got hurt, and AD to average 20 and 10. I'm like, he's one of the few dudes out here doing that. And me and some guys in the group chat always get an argument about if you switch Cat and you switch Jokic, would they be the same? I personally said I think they might even be a little better. I said because
I got a
you put-
rebuttal to this.
Okay,
Karl Anthony Towns. He's from Jersey. Oh man, I like this game. Kentucky product. I like Karl Anthony Towns. But let's not forget his first playoffs against
Terrible.
the Houston Rockets.
Terrible.
He had
bad.
CP3 on him multiple possessions, and he was at the corner of the
Couldn't lay the
3-point
ball
line.
up. Yeah.
First of all, why are you not even that? Why are you standing in the corner for a three when you got Chris Paul guarding you on a switch? In his first playoffs that we ever saw him in, he had some games that was like, oh no. And then
Sure.
Joker.
I gotta blame that on coach. I gotta blame that on coaching, Ray, man. Even though the game has evolved, and you got the bigs out in the corner, but you gotta tell him you got CP3 on you. You either gonna go down, you gonna watch, which a lot of people say today. You either gonna watch or go abuse that little dude.
Yes, sir.
But he gotta know that though.
But again, you gotta know
This
that.
is a different generation, though, man. It's a different generation. That's my only gripe with LeBron. Because LeBron, it's times when he has an advantage and he don't take advantage. He's starting to do it now. I'm not gonna lie. He's starting to do it now. But early on, he never took advantage of his mismatch. I'm going to keep, Ray, you know, as a coach, I'm going to keep, if I see a mismatch, I'm going to keep going to it. Until and stop.
To the well run dry. Use it to the well run dry.
But to finish, no, but that's true. But to finish what I was saying though is we saw Joker last year, his first playoffs. And debatably, he had the best numbers out of any player in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, he was killing.
He only played 2 series though, but in those 2 series, his numbers were better than any player all around. I'm talking about to the point, the rebounds, all that. He was dominant. And then it took for them to play the Blazers and him to play 55 minutes as a big man and to come down to play 7 overtimes and miss 2 big free throws and then lose to the Blazers.
But he's the reason that they lost. He's out of shape, man. He got to put in more work.
Yeah,
everybody says that. Like, he could be way better than what he is. He just don't put in the work.
It comes down to heart, too.
That's what I was about to get at.
Here's the weird things taking place right now. When European players came over back in the 90s, they were considered soft. Now, these guys are coming over with all the heart, and the cats over here are soft. Like, it's a weird dynamic that's taking place. Because ain't no way Karl Anthony Towns should be sitting outside shooting no threes against CP.
Yeah.
And B's guilty of that too.
Yeah, but now I would say Karl Anthony Towns is a way different player than that first playoff performance. I will say
that's what I was getting.
Going back to what I'm not going to only speak. I'm just saying in his first playoffs, I saw he was. We could say he was young. I hate using that young thing in there because if you're good, you're
pro.
I hate using that. But now the way Karl Anthony Towns playing, especially in the beginning, especially the first 10 games this year, he was going crazy. Then he got injured.
That's what I'm saying.
No, he was going crazy though. Karl Anthony Towns was going crazy. Like I think he's averaging like 29 and like 14. He was going crazy. But then he got injured, and then obviously your numbers balance out. So yeah. I don't know. I think the Nuggets, though, speaking for the Nuggets last year, it was their first time in the playoffs. The only person that had playoff experience was Paul Millsap. I think I just think they got their first year in. They got to the second round. Yes, James, it was Joker's fault. He do got to be in shape. But now this year, I think now that they got the experience, maybe we can see something. Not saying finals, but you never know. They got a good all-around team except for the 3 because Craig can't shoot 3. But, yeah, other than that. I think they really need to start Michael Porter Jr. instead of Craig, but that's just me.
Absolutely. Well, that's not even. I don't even know why they even entertaining that. But that's neither here nor there.
Now, no matter how the format comes out, whether it's the regular way, whether we go straight into the playoffs, Marc Cuban, no matter how they do it, who do you guys have going to the championship? And who do you have winning the NBA championship this season? Sherm, I want you to go first.
Clips, man. Ain't nothing changed since the last time we spoke. They're just a deeper team. They got, and I'm going to say this again. Anytime you have AD and LeBron on the floor, they're the best two players. So against a team, like I said, with Milwaukee, they're going to win because they got the best two players on the floor. With Clippers, with Paul George and Kawhi, they just too deep, man. They're deep. They are a better team, and they got two guys who are superstars or a star and superstar. I'm put it that a star and superstar. Y'all could, y'all want to flip, y'all know who I'm talking about. But they're not gonna match up with AD and LeBron, but they're gonna hold their own. That last game when the Lakers beat the Clippers ain't have nothing to lose. LA had everything to gain, because if they'd have lost that game, we wouldn't be having a conversation about. We wouldn't have a conversation. The Lakers had everything to lose if they would have lost that game, because nobody would be talking about, oh, this is going to be a good matchup. To me, Clips is just a deeper and better team, and they got two guys that can hold their own. They got guys coming off the bench that can score. They got dogs coming off that bench. They got bodies to throw at LeBron. They got bodies to throw at AD. I'm not saying that to stop them.
Mm-hmm. But they got bodies to use, yeah.
Yeah, they just got more bodies, and they got better role players, and they got deep. Their bench is deep. Like nobody even talks about it again. Reggie Jack, they just got bodies. They just got bodies.
James, how you feel about this?
Every position.
Well, who are your two teams? Well, who was your second team to get to the finals, Sherman?
Yep.
James say.
I'm gonna go with Milwaukee. But that's why I say I want to see the 1 through 16, because I want to see LA and Clippers.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
James, what about you? Who's your two teams, and who do you have winning it all?
I think the Lakers are gonna win it all, but Clippers are number second. If this COVID thing never happened, the Clippers was taking it. But being that this COVID thing has happened, I'm sure a couple people on the Clippers are just not training. They laid back. Everything. Where LeBron is not going to play that. LeBron is on the phone with his team.
I agree.
I need this ring. Like, you understand? This Jordan documentary came out. I got to prove something.
Not to cut you off. He wasn't on the last. He wasn't in the last conversation, right?
Yeah. No, he wasn't here.
Saying about Paul George and Kawhi being vocal leaders, and when I was saying Patrick Beverly can't be your vocal leader because he's not your best player.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that confuses me about Kawhi and Paul George, because they're not vocal dudes. And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let you get back to your point.
All right.
So if the Clippers don't win, Doc needs to be fired. I'm done. He needs to be fired. With this team, he needs to go. I'm done.
Yeah. So your point, I was watching this podcast the other day where who's the guy who does reports for Boston? He's a big Boston fan. He had a show with
Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons.
He did a podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. He asked Steven Jackson, being that he used to play with Tim Duncan and Matt Barnes used to play with Kobe, if you starting a team, who would you take, Tim Duncan or Kobe? They both said Kobe Bryant. And Steven Jackson's reason was that Kobe would do everything he had to do to win. Like, he'll punch a dude, he'll elbow Sasha, he'll pull him to a corner and buck on his players or whatnot, where Tim Duncan wasn't like that. Tim Duncan just showed by example. And Pop is the one who pulled players to the side. Pop is the one who was more vocal or whatnot. And Charles Oakley did a podcast with Chris Broussard, and he said, yo, when we was on the Knicks, we supposed to win it. When I got traded from the Bulls and the Knicks, I was like, yeah, I got a dog next to me. He came from Georgetown. We about to win. Everything's going to go well. And I noticed that we in the huddles, and Pat is not barking on the people we're supposed to bark on. Like, he was he's not vocal. Like, you're the best player on the court. You're supposed to have the ball at the end of the day, not this so-and-so, this person or that person. You're supposed to be the dog. You're supposed to call people out, but he felt like he didn't win a championship because Pat wasn't vocal.
No,
and you need a leader.
I'm a Knicks fan, but the only reason why, and I posted, Ray, I don't know if you saw what I posted. You saw it, right?
No, what you say?
I'm just because the only reason why he was the bully, but Oak was trash.
Trash.
Average, he was trash.
Trash, though.
10 rebounds off of his own missed layups.
Hey, you
Like,
got
what?
it's unbelievable. You got two Knicks fans. Two Knicks fans going at it right now.
Listen, I said it in the 90s. Like, this guy, he
said that
make a point blank layup by himself. Damn life. Excuse me. That's why I don't credit anything Oakley says off of animosity. But he was just trash. He was just. That's it. He averaged 10 rebounds a game off of his own missed layups. Go back and check the footage. Go YouTube me. Find no highlights of him.
Nah, I watch. I know.
But you can't find no highlights of him. It's him fighting people.
But at the end of the day, you need a vocal winner to win. You're not winning if you don't got that person.
I agree. I feel
like LeBron's gonna have the Lakers gonna be the most ready team.
Who's your second team? Lakers versus who?
Clippers.
All right, so that's with Lakers versus like you speaking on the regular format or the
I got the Bucks.
Okay. What's up, Monk? What's up with you? Who you got?
I got the Clippers, man. I think Sherman hit it pretty well. And I like that comparison you did, man, with the Kobe and Duncan. But I can say one thing. The end result was both 5 rings. They both got the same amount of rings. They took down too.
I don't know where I go with that, man. It's tough.
I just gotta let my dog Tim live now.
Absolutely. But I will say one thing that a lot of people are not thinking about.
They go to asterisk on that Tim Duncan season, that shortened season. Asterisk on it. No.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I would.
Who could you say was going to beat them? Don't forget, just Tim Duncan. They had David Robinson too.
Yeah.
So who was going to beat them? Other than the Bulls, if they came back, who was going to beat them?
That's what I was about to say. It's going to have to be the Bulls.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't going to be Houston.
Could have been the Pacers. The Pacers was dogs then.
The Pacers lost.
Yeah. How were the Jazz that season? Didn't Malone get MVP that year?
In 99?
Sure.
Nah.
Who was MVP in 99?
I don't know who got MVP in 90. I thought Malone only had one MVP.
Malone got 2 MVPs. I believe he got that one in 99, but I could be mistaken.
So he got 98 in 99?
It was Carmelo.
Carmelo, yeah, he got it in 99.
No, wait, no.
That's why I'm asking, how good was it?
Well, no, that was 98-99 season. I'm going to do 2000 season because basically, 99, it was Shaq.
That's right.
Okay.
So 99 to 2000 was Shaq.
Yeah, I knew Shaq was 99-2000. I knew that.
Well, the Lakers won that year. I'm talking about the year the Spurs won. Wasn't that 98-99?
98-99.
Yeah, that's when Malone got
it. When he won with David Robinson, again, Utah had to fall somewhere. And it's not like it was an advantage or disadvantage. They just started the season late, and it was a short season. So everybody was starting on an even playing field. Everybody. So you can't. I don't put no asterisk by that season. And again, I watched it.
It sound. Hold on. That sound good when you saying everybody started out on an even playing field, but we all know not everybody started out on an even playing field. People are thinking like, you know what? This season not coming back. I got time to train. I'm chilling. You're
right because Sean Kemp came back like 500 pounds.
Yeah,
that's on him. That's on him.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right.
That's so. I mean, it goes hand in hand. If we say that whoever wins the championship, no matter who it is, you can put something on it and say something about it. I mean, you can also say something about that season with Tim Duncan too. I'm not saying anything about the Tim Duncan thing, and I'm not gonna say nothing about whoever wins the championship this year as well. But I mean, you can't. But somebody can say that.
That's gonna be.
But just to get back to it, though, man, I just think something that a lot of people forget about, obviously, with this COVID-19 mess, is the trade deadline. And when we got to that point, everybody was expecting the Lakers to do moves, and they did absolutely nothing. The Clippers, like Sherm did mention Reggie Jackson, But personally, he's not a superstar in the league, but he's one of my personal favorite players. They went and got Marcus Morris. You know Marcus Morris, he got that dog mentality. Which, even though it's the Knicks, no shade, he averaged 20 for the Knicks. Shot over 44% from three. So you got another guy that can shoot, go get you 20, and he not scared of LeBron. And then you already got Kawhi, PG, Montrezl Harrell is an absolute dog off the bench.
Lou Williams.
And Lou Will is a possible closer for them. Like, I know Kawhi's obviously the best player and PG's the best player. But yo, like, you get the ball on Lou Will and he's hot, like, he can close the game for you.
And you know what's funny too?
But who guarded AD?
Montrezl.
Whoever guarded him in the first
They
2
got
out of 3
multiple
games.
bodies to throw at him though, man.
Montrezl.
They gonna keep throwing bodies at him. But here's the funny thing. Here's what I saw going back to that last game the Clippers and LA played. Going back to what you said about Marcus Morris. He was like 1 for 8, 9 from 3.
Yeah.
You think the Clippers are gonna let this guy in the playoffs
Take 10 shots.
Yeah, he ain't getting the ball. Paul George was killing him. Kawhi was kind of like laid back. He pulled back. And that was really the difference in the game. That Morris was out there just chucking up threes. That not, and if Doc let it happen again, he needs to
I agree.
It's all about adjustments, man.
I will say if the Lakers won.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, though. I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's funny, though.
I had to bring that point up.
As soon as you started saying that, I knew what you was getting at. I was like, you practice this. Shoot that ball that way. They go sit down. So what we better do? Sit down.
Your job is to play LeBron and get rebounds. That's it. If you get a bucket here or there, we'll take it glad.
Cool.
But you ain't going to be shooting no threes like that.
Nah, you better go rim run. What you better do. Get out there. What you better do.
Hey, so your 2 teams and who you got winning it all?
So if it was the normal format, I'm a little bit against the grain. I think the Clippers and the Lakers play in the Western Conference Finals, but I think honestly, coming out of the East would have been the Celtics because I think they're a little bit. They bring more of a Clipper type feel when they're playing the Bucks. Like they're deeper, in my opinion, because you don't know what Chris Middleton is going to show up. Like you never know. Like it's like either he's going to get 35 or he's going to get 13. Like there's no in between. Like that's what
true.
he's getting.
That's
Great point. And I forgot about the Celtics, man.
But yo,
shout out to Cardiac Kimber.
It's Kemba Walker. Disappointing me, yo.
Hey, I might have to change it, though. I forgot about the Celtics.
All right,
Shout out
so
to Cardiac Kimber.
Faith, you wasn't in here the last time when we had this conversation. I got the Lakers versus Philly. You know, I do not know if y'all remember that. I got Lakers versus Philly.
Though?
I think, yes.
I'm gonna take
Philly,
a drink to
though.
that one.
You take a drink to that. Copy. You take it exactly. Now I'm gonna tell you why I like Philly. You know, I feel like even though the Celtics are a good team and we know what they can do, I feel like off this first season that Kemba's being there, I think, you know, we never seen him really that much in the playoffs. So I feel like, especially now with the coronavirus and stuff like that, I think the chemistry and everything, even before this though, even if none of this didn't happen, I think that the Celtics needed 1 year with him being their starting point guard.
Sure.
I think that they needed at least 1 season. Now, we would say next season for the Celtics, I'm cool. I'm with you on that one. I think they are ready. But being that he's their starting point guard and he's never been there before in that's not saying that he's not a great player. I'm not taking anything away from him. But I don't think they can match up well this season with the Bucks. I think the only team that can match up with the Bucks with height and everything is Philly. And we saw the last time Philly and the Bucks, and we saw that the last time that Philly and the Bucks played, they had Giannis on lock. Now, I'm surprised nobody didn't bring up Miami Heat. I like Miami being a sleeper team too as well. We all know Jimmy Butler is a good, you know, a leader and things like that. But same thing with them. I feel like they need 1 season together just to get there, and then maybe next year we can see things. I think Philly is the only team that's ready. When they got injured, I was a little skeptical about it, but now that everybody's back healthy, Ben Simmons there, and they also made trades and got 2 or 3 shooters for them off the bench now. I think the Sixers are a good team to beat the Bucks because if it ain't the Sixers beating the Bucks, then we got the Bucks going to the finals.
Yeah, I just don't trust Ben Simmons. I don't trust him.
Me neither.
Like when we get down to the nitty gritty, you gotta have at least 3 to 4 dudes out there that can hit open jumpers. And typically that dude has got to be your dominant ball handler unless you're somebody special like Rondo, which Ben Simmons kind of has that, I can make plays because I got a big body. I can get to the rim, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But, like, how do you think about the best teams in the past, at least nowadays, and even all the way back to the late 90s? The best teams usually have one dude that you can get a ball to and go get a bucket. It's typically, a wing guy or a perimeter dude. Like, even when the Lakers had Shaq and dominated that stretch, Kobe was still the kind of the dude that, hey, we can dump it down to Shaq. Yeah, he'll get a dunk or he might get fouled. But if we need somebody to break somebody down, we still have that too. The Sixers do not have a guy like that.
Well, listen, they made a trade. How Sherman, Faison and Sherman, both of you guys are coach, Brennan and James. I know you know both the games as well.
Yep.
They made a trade for Alec Burks. Now, Alec Burks is good.
Not bad.
You can put Burks you can make that face all you want, but Burks get buckets. You can put him at the 1, and you can put Ben Simmons at the 4, and you can have Tobias playing the 3. You
got to skip Ben Simmons all the way to the 4.
Yes, definitely. Because
he ain't playing the 4. Ray, he not playing the 4. He made that clear. He's playing the 4.
I didn't say have him starting there. I just said adjustment in the game.
He ain't doing that. You know why? But he can't do it because without the ball in the hands, he's useless.
He's not very effective. Yeah, he's not effective.
Yeah, he's useless. Now, going back to Kemba Walker, I forgot about the Celtics, man.
Yes, sir. Cardiac Kemba, baby.
Because he don't have the pressure to score. He can just pick his spots when he goes.
That is true.
And unlike Kyrie, he don't need the ball because he can still make other guys better.
Mm-hmm.
Along with buckets. Not saying Kyrie can't do that, but with Kemba in that spot, he don't mind taking a step back and letting Tatum
rock. Yep.
Or Brown.
Or Brown do what he do. Or what's the white boy name? Hayward. He don't mind doing that. It's the last minute of the game. I've been setting everybody up. Now let me get in my groove if I have to.
Yep.
He don't mind.
Now to finish off, who I think is going to win the championship, I'm going with James. I got the Lakers. But to now go on to what you guys said about the bench.
I like.
You said the bench to the Clippers, right? All right. Other than Lou Will, because I think everybody else on the bench, we can clearly say Lou Will is, I guess, better by a stretch than anybody else on the Lakers bench.
Trez too, in my opinion.
Montrezl Harrell. Yeah, they bring Montrezl Harrell off the bench too.
So you like Trez better than what Dwight's doing this year?
Correct.
I do. But I do love what Dwight's doing.
Nah, Trez is
better.
Okay, so you say Trez. So all right, what about you got JaVale. No, JaVale's a starter. You got
who's guarding AD? I'm still trying to know.
You said who?
You said who's guarding AD?
Yeah.
Probably my guess would be Montrez if we're talking about down the stretch of the game, it's probably gonna be Montrez. If we're talking about at the beginning of the game, it's gonna be that white boy, Zubac, or whatever his name is.
Morris will probably guard him.
Sherm, you said you like Reggie Jackson, so you like Reggie Jackson over Rondo?
No.
But again, it all.
Do you like? Wait. Do you like Reggie Jackson? Yeah, in the playoffs. In the playoffs, you'll take Reggie Jackson over Rondo.
It depends who's on. It
who else is on the floor?
It depends who's on the floor.
Rondo is playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Do you like Reggie Jackson over Rondo?
I'm gonna take Reggie Jackson because he can give me buckets and he's gonna play some defense. He can give me buckets. Not saying Rondo is not,
And unfortunately, they're not going to be able to play Rondo and LeBron at the same time at the end of the game.
I think
that's going to get. I think that's going to get exposed pretty quickly.
Reggie Jackson's not going to be in there at the end of the game either.
Yeah, which is fine. But then you got Lou Will. So then, I think the Clippers close with Lou Will, Trez, PG, Kawhi, and maybe Morris. Maybe.
So what's up? So what's up with throwing Avery Bradley in there coming off the bench?
Yeah. So if you so let's talk about closing the game, because if you want to go depth, then
the reason why the Lakers won that last game, Avery Bradley was in there. I don't know if you saw the game 2 where the Clippers
I did. Where Avery hit a couple threes. I did.
No,
I saw.
I just feel like the Lakers have a better all-around bench than the Clippers. I just think
here's the difference with the Lakers bench. What's the difference with the Lakers bench?
Hold on, wait.
The Lakers bench is a if. Those guys are not consistent.
How are they? I feel like the Clippers are if nobody else on the Clippers bench has done anything.
What's his name? What's his name? Danny Green. What's Danny Green?
Chill, my dog. Danny.
He's a winner.
Nah, but he hit a few threes. But he ain't doing that for 7 games. That last game, he ain't doing it for 7 games. Stop.
All right. So
I'm not taking out from him.
Hold on. Wait. So you act like he ain't doing that for 7 games. He still holds the record for the most threes, breaking Ray Allen in the NBA Finals still today. He showed us he can do it. Hold on, but he also did it last playoffs with Kawhi with the Raptors.
Danny's a winner now. He's a winner.
I'm not saying he's not.
I'm not saying he's not. But Danny's a starter though. You got
Kuzma starting?
Kuzma's starting. You got Dwight coming off the bench.
Kuzma sucks.
But he sucks because he's playing with LeBron.
I gotta let you do that.
Kuz don't suck. It's just that he needs the ball in his hand to be effective.
Yes.
Not going to give him the ball.
He's a volume dude.
I think they should have traded him. I think they should have traded him for pieces. I
think with him getting
for
hurt
pieces.
in the USA with his ankle and missing training camp, and the Lakers getting that chemistry early in the year going and building that 1-2 punch with Anthony Davis and Bron, especially, and Kuz ended up coming around the time they was on a winning streak. I think that kind of made him okay, I see what they got going on. I was really averaging 19, 18 last year, but I feel like him missing that beginning of the season and seeing how things all changed with LeBron and AD, I think that's why his numbers went down, honestly.
Look, Kuz went downhill once he got that blonde hair. As soon as he put that blonde in his hair, that man went downhill from right then and there. He went downhill. He put that blonde in.
But going back to
talk about
go ahead, Faith.
No, go ahead.
But going back to the Lakers bench, I could name multiple people like Caruso. You can say what you want about him. You can say what you want about Caruso. I like Caruso over Reggie Jackson. I do. For a role player. For a role player with the Lakers. I'm not saying that Caruso is a starting point guard over Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm just saying that. You got most
Reggie Jackson's a what though? What is Reggie Jackson? I know
he wasn't.
What is he?
He said, what is he?
Yeah, what is he? Starter. He's a starting point guard coming off the Clippers bench.
Yes, he was a starter, but what was he doing as a starter with the Pistons?
He was average, a little above average.
What was he doing when he was
with different coaches? Man.
Yeah, I know. Different teams, different situations, different teams. The Lakers just now also picked up Dion. They picked up Dion. You don't gotta like Philly cheese back. Dion Waiters.
Oh, I love his game. I just don't know is he gonna do all that with LeBron on the floor? I highly doubt it.
He's J.R. Smith 2.0.
We saw how that ended.
Well, no, I won't say. Hey, no JR slander today. No JR slander today. Not today.
I love Dion Waiters. I just don't know his place in this team. Is he going to accept being a, stretch the floor out kind of guy for LeBron, a role player, or is he going to go out there and think he's going to start dancing and all that good stuff and then taking tough shots?
Well, you're saying that way too nicely, Brendan. they're going to say, Dion, AD, come set me this high ball screen. Dion, if you stand in the corner and if I pass you the ball, you shoot it. That's how it's going to work.
You talking about a guy that on a plane off gummies.
No,
wait, Brandon.
Ray needs to understand this.
Hold on, wait. Brandon is speaking from a Miami Heat fan. Dion is not going to be there anymore. He's not going to be there. Don't do that.
Right. You notice how every guy, and this, and again, not to go back to some LeBron stuff, but everybody numbers go down with LeBron.
Because he dominates the ball.
He's standing in the corner for this guy.
He dominates the ball.
How many guys, whether it's Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, how many guys have to keep standing in the corner for this guy?
Killing Kuzma. It's killing Kuzma.
It's killing Kuzma.
Yeah, it's killing a lot of people.
It killed Dion in OKC. When he had,
I don't know about that. Hold on, Dion was going crazy before they blew the 3-1. But you could just tell the chemistry though. Like when they lost that 3-1 lead, you could just tell like Dion Waiters was like, "Dog, give me the ball. I want to rock out." And Russ and KD are like, "Hell no, we're the two best guys. Like, give us the rock." You tell Dion was like, "Nah, bro, fuck that. Can't nobody guard me."
No, it's funny because
he was hooping though.
But that was part of their demise, though. They couldn't get it together as a group, and that's what I'm saying.
But Brian gonna pass you the ball if you're going off. He gonna pass.
If you standing in the corner. Yeah, and he's not even J.R. Smith 2.0. He's Lance Stevenson. Because
the
role, make them dance, baby. Make them dance.
J.R. accepted the role of, all right, I'm gonna just get this and shoot it. Because when he was with the Knicks, man, every time he touched the ball, I was like, damn, it's either going to be a bucket or a turnover. When he got with LeBron, he accepted that role. Goes back to what B was saying. Is Dion Waiters going to accept that role with the Lakers?
He got no choice, so you're going to see the bench.
Mentality.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's
that mentality.
But hold on. But as a hooper, I think this is his first time in his head. He know that he has a chance to win the championship, and I think he will accept it. I think he has
a chance to win it in 2016.
Yeah, but this team is a whole different team if we're comparing this team to that OKC team.
At the same time, bro, you're up 3-1 in the series, bro. You should probably win that series. And then they go up against the Cavaliers. I mean, you got Russ versus Kyrie. You got KD versus LeBron. Come on, man. You got a shot. You got a shot.
No, we taking that at 6. We was gonna take that at 6.
Maybe. I think y'all would have won, but man, I don't know. You up on 3-1 on the team, man. You can.
I don't know if they're taking that at 6 because as great as LeBron has been, I mean, it's just proven that he can put up off the wall numbers. But when he got to guard KD on that other side, dog, it just get ignorant over there. Like get real ignorant.
Well, his first time guarding Kevin. Well, it's a different Kevin Durant. Speaking from
a lot of full true.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a different. But you know, the first time that they went up against each other when OKC, when he was with Miami, LeBron ain't guarding him. He fried Shane Battier. Then the next 4 games, Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley put that change on him, like you said last podcast, Sherm. Put Bron on his ass. Like the same thing with D Rose.
Yep.
This ain't the same Bron though. Bron ain't playing that defense no more, Ray. Cut it out. Like, he ain't playing that type of defense no more.
And it damn sure wasn't the same KD. I'll tell you that.
I want to be clear though. I want to see Dion do well. Like no BS. I really want to see him do well. I just don't know if his personality and his skill set. Well, I think his skill set could. I just don't know if he's.
I believe in Philly cheese. I believe in Philly cheese.
I think you got a good point with the benches, Ray. But I think when you look at accepting roles and being effective when it all comes down to it, I think the Clippers bench outweighs the effectiveness because Kyle Kuzma's not going to be very effective in 20 minutes and 7 shots. He's not going to be very effective. Like, it's not going to be – he's the type of guy that's got to play – if I'm coming off the bench, I got to play about 34 minutes. I need about 14 shots, and I need about 7 to 8 of them to be me just coming down, letting it ride. Like, nobody's saying that to me. The difference is Lou Will, they understand that with Lou Will. It's like, hey, Lou, Kawhi, Paul, if Lou start to get loose, you better shut up and get over there. Don't pay him no mind. Let him get
Let
what
him
he gotta
go.
get.
Let him
And
go.
the same thing with Montrez, because you got to think they got two dudes that are averaging close to 20 points a game, or like 17, whatever it is, something very close to a high number with limited touches, and they're okay with that because the flow of the game doesn't change. And I think unit wise, I think when you run a second unit out there and they let Paul George be like the star for a little bit, but then at the end of the day, Trez typically ends up dominating the ball, or Lou will. I think those dudes are going to be better in those roles. I think the Lakers have more namesake and a little more power to it, with the exception of probably Reggie Jackson, because he is a legit starter that is probably like, I don't want to say he's their third string point guard, but he's pushed down the line a little bit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But you look at that with the Lakers, and I try to think of what does that second unit look like? Like, since we're talking about benches, because you made it pretty clear that you want to talk about the bench roles, like what does the second unit look like? So you're saying Rondo, Waiters, Bradley.
Well, before Waiters, you'll have Bradley, Contavious Caldwell-Pope will be in there.
Pope, there we go. I knew I was missing somebody.
I didn't even say Pope. Obviously, you have Dwight in there, maybe JaVale. Or if you take JaVale out, then you
JaVale's a starter.
Okay, all right. Yeah. You put Dwight in there, and then I guess you will put Dudley in.
You got Dwight.
Are you gonna leave Bron in?
Yeah, you got Dwight, Kuzma, Caruso, but I'm saying strictly like bench guys. You got Dwight, Kuzma, Rondo, Bradley, and Pope. That's probably I'd imagine that's probably the
Pope and Morris. We didn't say Morris or Quinn Cook.
There we go. I knew I was missing somebody. I can't think of who I was missing. Was Morris, but then you got
Don't make that
then you got on the other side, you got Reggie Jackson, Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell,
and that's it. And Morris, that's it.
Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody.
Morris.
No, I'm missing somebody.
Michael Green's over there.
Okay,
I can't stand him.
My bad. Jamarcus is good.
But my thing with the Clippers bench, is proven.
Very true. Very true.
They both average over 18 a game, and then when you really look at what they did in the playoffs last year, I'm not going to sit there and say, Golden State was like fearful of losing that series, but they really pushed them boys to the mat, and it was really like Will and Montrezl Harrell was doing their thing. And now you add in Kawhi and Paul George to the starting lineup. I don't know, man. They're giving you about 40 off the bench. I know you're just saying those two, but those two just about get you 40 off the bench every night.
Those two, in my opinion, are better than anybody you bringing off the Lakers bench. So.
I don't see Montrez going crazy on AD. By the way, we got a minute left too.
AD's on the bench.
But AD and Bron is going to be in there. I don't see Montrez doing that to AD.
Well, yeah, you go ahead and wrap it up, dog. I know you gotta.
Now they got that kid, Sherman too. Not that he's a stud.
He could bowl.
Sherman's not bad though.
Sherman make a bowl. He could bowl.
Sherman's good. We forgot about Larry. He's good. He is good. Before the injury, he is good. Because he was a starter, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yeah,
in Philly. He started in Philly. Yeah.
No, he started in Clippers too.
Yeah, he was starting.
He was starting this year, I think, before he got hurt.
Yeah, he was starting.
I'm gonna say this: the thing with the one thing I could give the Lakers, they do have the ability to go big, and it's scary with AD, JaVale, or what's the other kid?
Dwight. Yeah.
Dwight along with LeBron, like they could either Dwight or JaVale. They could those three on the floor together. They just big as hell. They're big, and you can't. That's hard to match up with. I'm not worried about that. It's hard to match up with. I'm taking the Clippers.
All right.
You can run that pick and roll and have either JaVale or Dwight on that box for a lob. Or cutting it for a lob, it's tough. It's tough.
Well, all right, man. I appreciate y'all coming in here, man. Still taking trips. I appreciate y'all coming in here. We'll definitely do this again. James, welcome to the podcast. I really appreciate you coming in here. We all had good debates. We all had our things. Everybody stay safe because from what I'm seeing, it's looking like it can get crazy. Keep, trying to have the youth and everybody keep speaking to the youth. We need the next generation to know what's going on in this world right now and not to be trying to do things violently because that's not going to get us anywhere. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll speak soon, talk soon, and what it is and what it ain't. If you don't like what I got to say, join the debate.
Copy.